Mama's house to Penthouse. So today, got a very interesting topic because I know a lot of times you might not know how to set proper boundaries. You say, I don't know how to get enough time, balance work, school, life, all that shit. But today, Mama's house to Penthouse, we're gonna talk about how to set those strong boundaries so you can have all the time you need. Let's go.
I will get big checks. It's just what's going to happen.
That's gonna happen.
It's just going to happen,
The
bro.
big check.
We're going to beat your neck, bro. Every day. That's a professional pitcher. I know success, yeah.
I built it from nothing. I don't give a fuck. What even qualifies you to tell somebody you're gonna fail? Like, are you like a MBA, like from Harvard? It's like, have you studied?
If I gotta risk everything to do this shit, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
To $1, son.
And now, introducing your hosts, Prinston and DJ.
He said it like a
Game show announcer?
yeah, like a game show announcer. I like that.
That's what make it live in the
You right?
in the-
I wasn't woke.
Give it back.
I wasn't
You on
woke.
silent?
Am I on
I
silent?
almost just disobeyed the number one rule of the pre-show.
Oh, I was on silent.
It's bad when somebody gotta tell you to get on silent.
Yeah, T phone not on silent. I can tell by what she said.
She over there.
Look, she like shit.
T over there.
She got a Soldier Boy ringtone. She gonna have one of them disrespectful ringtones.
This right here?
Yeah, remember you could Bluetooth.
Polyphonic though.
Yeah, remember you could
You remember those commercials?
the
text
text 2479. Yeah, for the Soldier Boy ringtone. Soldier Boy did $1 million.
They ran up a bunch of money. Yeah, he
Soldier
like
Boy did over $1
million.
million in ringtones.
Damn, that's crazy.
Soldier Boy tweeted today. He said, he said, in today's world, either you crank that Soldier Boy or it cranks you. I said, this boy's a fool.
Yeah, no, nobody knows what that means.
I was like, why would you? What does that even mean? Boy, it ain't cold in here.
I'm good. So.
I know you good. We all know Prinston's good.
See, don't take that
He-
tone.
he
don't
doesn't-
take that tone.
he
You know
doesn't-
that we know you're good.
He doesn't get.
What's
he doesn't.
up?
Huh?
What's up?
I'm getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Let me get right where I need.
You've been doing well for yourself.
Yeah, I have. What you mean?
Just you have.
Yeah, I have, but I'm not doing well now. This shit is kind of not
No,
easy.
you tried to do something different. I told you, bro. It's an angle. The couch is an angle. You see how I am right now? I'm comfortable.
All right, you're right.
Don't try to go against the grain. What we always said, man. Do what works.
Do what works. All right. Alex, I'm good back there. Give me like 2 seconds.
Level's good. How's everybody doing? Before we get started, I want to thank our incredible staff.
No.
Yeah, no enthusiasm. No, but yeah,
Meanwhile, I'm still.
just get it
struggling.
together. I'm just gonna sit here for a little bit because I got
You
an amazing
keep-
question today.
Keep going, cause I'm lost right now.
Old couch, no?
Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm just gonna get this right. Boom.
You good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
You got yourself together?
Barely. Lightweight. There we go. All right.
All right.
Am I good?
So I
still ain't good, bro. Something's not
bro,
right.
angle. I'm telling you.
I'm at the angle. This is the
Look at
angle.
this. Look at this. Look at this. You see what I'm saying? You trying to hang off the couch and be cool and stuff.
Nah, man. I had it last week.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get deep in there like that.
Yeah. Deep.
Am I good?
Okay.
Whoa. All right. See, we have a
bunch of grown kids.
There's people all the way downstairs talking about, whoa. Man, go work out, bro. Let me be hot.
Bro, you was about to leave. He just came.
Yeah, whoa. Is the AC on?
No.
It has to be.
No, it's not.
All right.
You perforating all.
You know at 8 o'clock. No,
Okay.
I am playing.
Man, P, what's up, man? You living good today?
I'm living good. I'm living amazing, man. It's been an amazing week.
It's been an amazing week.
I got one thing to say.
What?
80%.
80%. Oh, we talking about 80% today?
Nah, we not. But we gonna talk about. 80%.
I mean, I think
Oh,
since
gonna-
we
we're
talked
gonna
about
lead
it,
into
it'll
that. We're gonna lead
lead.
into that because the concept we got today, or with the topic we talked about today, I've actually been getting this a lot. So I got a text message, And if you're watching this, you know who it is, right?
Oh yeah. Let's give his name, man.
Omar.
Yeah.
Watching this,
This whole episode is for you, man.
So the thing is, he asked me a question, and I feel like, in a text message, it's hard to answer people in a text message and give a comprehensive answer, right?
Nah, it's different platforms for different things.
Exactly.
So, like I always tell people want to post 30-minute videos on Instagram.
Nobody's
it's just
gonna
like
do that.
nobody wants to.
So you gotta think where they're watching that at.
Yeah, people watch that type of stuff on YouTube.
You had on the train or something. Let me check out this 30-minute
video. Yeah, no, nobody's doing that. So
two seconds max.
Yeah, so sometimes people ask questions, and the reason why we able to speak on them so elaborately, or the reason why we choose to instead text them back with a brief answer and talk on here is because sometimes the questions are so good that we just decide to just speak on it for a whole hour.
And I think a lot of this stuff goes down to the common problems that you get as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Because I think, for example, in the beginning, I got somebody else who texts me, and we'll talk about that in another episode.
Yeah.
The common ones you get, like, what do I do when I start up? How do I get more clients? It's a certain list of problems that you get over and over and again. But I think this one right here that he asked me, it's a simple problem, and I tried to give him a simple solution, but I think I want to dig deeper into it. Mm-hmm. So you ready? You ready to go into our Mama's House mail?
Why? Jabs! What's up, man?
That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's all.
I've seen you got a cat, too.
Yeah, well, there is a cat.
Yeah, you got it, too, bro.
It's not my cat. It's Jab's cat. We would bring him up here, but T allergic to cats.
Yeah, we don't want to swell T up, have to stop the whole production.
Yeah, T gonna get.
You know it ain't no antibiotics here.
Anybody.
Oh, no, actually we do, OSHA.
OSHA gonna be at the door.
Hey, I seen you on episode.
I heard episode 4 that we ain't even posted it yet.
Who inside? That must be Alex on the side.
Look at her smiling. He ain't shit.
Yeah, all right, so we are bullshitting today.
Hey, cause we got some good information. I feel like the better the information, the more bullshit you gotta go through to get it.
You ready to get into this? Okay.
I'm ready, man. Let's get it.
So this is a simple question, but this pulled directly from my text messages. Prinston, what can I do to help me juggle work, starting school, building a business, and personal life? Well, I don't want to say some funny shit about the school, but I'm gonna keep it neutral. But
we've done what we
I am
need to
going
do
to
to
tell
school.
you what the big thing you can do to balance work life and all that type of stuff, because I think this is something me and you both just recently had to do, especially building up a business and understanding all the parts and all the stuff that people want. Because we get how many times you get contacted a day about people wanting to do stuff and stuff like that with you?
Oh man, too many times a day. Too many.
Yeah.
Too many. I can't. You already know what time it is with that. I just can't.
Come on, man.
I just fucking can't.
Your Instagram says 99.
Yeah, I just can't.
And then if you delete them, it's back to 99.
Yeah, I did that the other day. I said maybe I should just delete these DMs so I can try to at least read some of them. It doesn't work. Yeah. It's just point blank. It's just nothing we can do about it. Yeah. So as you can see, the questions are coming in.
Yeah.
But
I got a bunch now. I'm getting DM'd.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I think the first thing I want to talk about with this is how to balance work, school life. I really found that this comes down to something very simple. Very simple. It's something very hidden. So everybody right now, you've heard this probably to the point of being cliche, but I have to say it again because it's very important for you to understand there's no difference between anybody in the world, right?
Yeah.
We all get 24 hours. So I just really want you to think about this and let it land. I don't care if it's Warren Buffett. I don't care if it's Oprah Winfrey. I don't care if it was Steve Jobs when he was alive. I don't care if it's everybody who's ever been successful in the history of life.
Yeah.
Same 24 hours.
Same 24 hours.
So how we use those 24 hours is the only thing that separates the person who's able to balance their work life in school or whatever they're doing, make the balance.
Yeah.
And do you know what really keeps people from achieving this balance?
Please talk to
I'm going to say something a little bit
I think it's about
profound.
to be a gem. I think this is one of the moments in the podcast where you stop everything that you're doing. And you probably get like one of them little notebooks and one of them little standard pencils, the number 2 pencils.
With the
why you have to use
why
you have to use a number 2 in school?
Because it's the only thing that showed up on the Scantron.
Really though?
Yeah.
Or was it a promotional tactic?
If you ran anything else to the Scantron machine, it wouldn't
you
work.
don't think the Scantron people own number 2 pencils?
Maybe.
It's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
The number 2 pencil corporation.
The number 2 pencil corporation.
So maybe back in the day, Scantron and number 2 mastermind, he said, look, bro.
Listen, bro.
Look, You run up out of Scantrons, I run up out of pencils. That's the game.
That's the play that we're running.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So I always wondered that. But
Yeah.
now go ahead.
Really is. Are there any other number pencils?
No.
Like I feel like it's just somebody put.
Because it has to do with like the diameter.
That's a hell of a question.
Jazz, you would know.
Yeah, Jazz. Prinston asked that question, and Jazz had Jazz ass had the whole answer. Well, technically,
I actually studied pencils for 6 years, and I know the pencils.
All right, man. It's some more
gotta
numbers. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
But where would you at with it?
Yeah. So the big thing that I see that most people, it's not the fact that you don't have enough time, because like I said before, we all have the same amount of time. The problem is boundaries.
Boundaries.
See, the big thing I realize with most people is not what you say yes to, it's what you learn to say no to. You following me so far? Because I tell you one thing, I want to talk about a couple different types of boundaries that we need to set, because I think it's levels to it.
It's levels to this?
Like when you're going into business, especially when you're starting business, but any endeavor you're doing that you're trying to move up in life, I don't care if you're going to school or whatever it is, there's going to have to be a level of balance. There's a great principle by Warren Buffett. He calls it the for that principle. I believe it's Warren Buffett who says this, right? Like, people are like, I don't have time. Just say to yourself, you don't have time for that.
Yeah.
So let's start this off slowly.
Wow.
I want to throw this to you.
Somebody just hit me up about something like that. And I
Something
told
similar.
Yeah. Wow, 30 seconds ago. I didn't even share it with y'all.
Yeah. But it's a common question we get.
Yeah.
So the for that principle, but I want to preface it a little bit and then let you jump in, because here's the way I look at it. Okay. Simple analogy. You have to study for a class. You have to get a project or a proposal out for business, right? You got 3 hours that you need, or you could go to a friend's get together. Not a party. I'm saying it's friends get together. Somebody you're close to, right? If you go to that get together, now you got to stay up all night to finish the proposal or finish the project, right?
Yeah.
Whose fault is that?
Your friends getting out.
You should have thrown that
You
shit.
should have threw that
You
shit.
always
You
do
gonna
that
throw
shit.
this live ass party when you know I got this assignment tomorrow.
But
of
point
course,
but the point, that's simple time management. Now, when you hear that, that's very basic, and everybody understands. Oh, I get it. I'm supposed to manage this and stuff like this. But the whole point is, a lot of times, it's not ever the fact that you don't have time. It's this you want to spend your time in another way.
Yeah.
So, for example, another huge one that I always hear when people talk about time management is like, for example, I know me, for example, right? When I first started off in business, I spent a lot of time focusing on busy work and things that didn't matter, right? I wasn't very efficient. So the thing is, when we look at all this work that we're doing, we don't have a clear purpose of how our time should be spent. So the thing is, the busy work comes because you got to ask yourself, what is your real focus in life? Where are you really going? Because it's easy for me to distract you when you really don't have anything you're doing during the day. Let's say you were kind of bullshitting during the day, and I say, hey, come out to this place with me. Of course you're going to say yes.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't say yes? Whatever. But if you get to a point where you can understand your clear values and what you stand for, then it's going to be easy. And I want to talk about today. I don't want to leave it vague. I want to talk about today the different types of boundaries you should set. So there's multiple boundaries you can set. We're going to get to all the boundaries you can set in a second. But let me give you a couple examples. One boundary that you should set for sure is relationship boundaries, which are different than career boundaries or even just like personal partner boundaries. So let's say close friends, there's different boundaries. Associates, there's different boundaries. In business, there's different boundaries. We can lump anything like education all into that same category.
Of course.
And then also understanding your own personal core, what you stand for. Because one thing I realize, and this is huge, the more reactive we are to the world around us, the more we allow ourselves to get swayed left and right. One thing I always say about you is, I know if you have something to do, you told me today before we come here, like, yeah, this week I'm not going to be able to go, I'm not going to be able to go certain places because I have this thing that I'm doing. Now, you know how your time's going to be spent, but what it's going to really depend on is not if you've planned it out accordingly, is if somebody comes in and I say, hey man, let's just do this thing, and you tell me yes or no. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Although I've planned it, it's still a thing if I'm actually going to execute on what I've planned.
If you're going to be able to say no.
Yeah.
So I guess just to start it off, I want to get your insight on some of the things you've learned about managing your time and just learning when to say no to people. 'Cause I know this has been something big with people trying to book you for stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So just kind of give your insights and thoughts on that so we can understand that.
So I'll give you a couple of things that I want to talk about today. one of the things is when I first moved to the first penthouse that I lived in downtown. Now, for those of you who don't know, I've stayed multiple places downtown in Houston. Before this spot, there was a spot over there on Main Street called Commerce Towers, and me and Mike was in there, and me and Mike got a chance to meet a lot of high-level people just because our neighbors, they all own businesses, they all created things, and they all done all these crazy type of things. But there was this woman named Reggie, right? And I'll never forget. Now, you know Reggie, the Reg. Most of you all may have seen her on my Snapchat. Real lit woman, real outgoing. Everything about her is cool. But I never forget this one time. She asked me to help her move some stuff, right? Okay. And I told her, all right, I got you. Mm-hmm. Now keep in mind my time management, huh?
Without thinking about it.
Without thinking about it, I said, I got you, right? Just thinking like I'm trying to be the good person, trying to be a person that somebody can count on, trying to just help, right? So something came up on my end, right? I think it was some legit shit too. Like I had to go to school. I forgot about school, right? Which is fair enough. Like, yeah, you forgot about school, but you still told somebody you was gonna do something for them, right?
You gave your word.
I gave my word. I said I'll be there. So I hit her up a little bit before I say, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it in time. I still can make it like 30, 45 minutes later. Just let me get out of class. She said, okay, cool. Then something else came up, right? It was some legit shit too. Yeah. Like don't get me wrong, I wasn't bullshitting. But my thing was something else came up, right? So I'm like, okay, damn. All right, let me go ahead and tell her this. So in my mind, I'm keeping this woman updated, right? So after the third or fourth time me rescheduling the times, pushing it back, keep in mind, I'm a person who doesn't understand time management at this point. Yeah. Okay? It's the only reason why I'm doing this. And as you listen to me talk about the story, you might begin to believe how crazy a person could be for doing some shit like this. Like, hey, man, I got you in 30 minutes. All right, wait, 40 minutes. All right. But in my mind, I'm thinking like I'm just communicating my time barriers, right? So I'm thinking I'm a good person. So finally make it down there, right? This woman, now keep in mind this is an older woman. And she is bawling, right? She damn near crying right now because I've told her so many times and she was waiting on me the whole day. Now, the time that I got there, it was just absolutely too late to do what we had to do, right? Yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm being the good person, but in that person's mind, I completely misused her time, right? Yeah. My time management was so poorly directed that when I got to her, it was just pandemonium, right? Yeah. So at that very moment, I understood the value of a person's time. And then after that, she gave me a story that I never forget, right? Mm-hmm. Woman pulled me to the side. She said, man, DJ, for my 45th birthday, there was a guy named Ron. Ron came to me. He said, Reggie, I don't have any money. I don't have any gifts that I can give you, right? I said, but I do got something better. Mm-hmm. He said, here's a coupon. I said, what's this? He said, using this coupon, you can call me at any time. You have 8 hours of my time. You can use it however you want, right? She said, take this coupon, and every time you call me, give me the coupon code. This is her friend, right? Mm-hmm. Give me the coupon code, and you can use 2 hours of my day, and you have 8 hours for the rest of our life. So you can use it however you want. She said, DJ, that was the best gift anybody ever gave me. She said one day she was short on time. She couldn't do something. She had to call Ron and use him for an hour. Got it done, right? She said, oh, shit, I see where this is going. She said for the other 7 hours, she just was asked out for particular things, and she called Ron using a coupon code. Boom, boom. So I say all that to say, understanding time management is just, and I appreciate Ron for even doing that because when I was thinking, like I said, keep in mind, I'm a person who doesn't understand time management. I keep driving that home. Because so many people always say, hey, I'm going to do this then, I'm going to do this then, I'm going to do this then, keep rescheduling, believing that they're doing the right thing when really your word is what it is. Yeah. The yes or no. Had I just told her I couldn't do it, and that's something that she drove home to me that day. She said, bro, just tell me you can't. Yeah. I can't. What you think I'm going to not fuck with you no more? You think I'm not going to hang with you anymore? Like, what you think is going to happen? Like, just tell me that you can't do it. So we can just move accordingly. It doesn't matter if you can or can't. I just need to count on you when you say you can come. So that was some stuff that I wanted to talk about. And I hope that pretty much answered the question that you asked me. But that's just really something that I wanted to drive home as far as time management. Ever since then, I mean, I got with you. That was around the same time where you introduce systems into my life. Now, we had briefly talked about systems, and that was before I moved into the other Penthouse. That was the other spot.
But that's when you start doubling down.
Exactly. This is when I actually started doing my things together. When I started putting my time. I remember my other business partner, Red Bull. We used to do workout classes together. He used to tell me, bro, DJ, manage your time. I used to be like, man, for what? Like, I never said for what.
But in your mind, you was thinking for what?
Yeah, in my mind, I don't even think it was in my mind. I was thinking for what. It was more so of a situation like how do you do it? How do you manage it? I think that's something too. A lot of people might want to know today. How do you even manage your time? Yeah. And I think at the end, I'm going to add some little applications that you can use, right?
Oh, yeah,
some of the stuff that we use today to get our time management skills down packed, even with the barbershop, even with all types of side businesses that I own, that you go off to the side and do outside of the whole ad agency that we created. How are we able to juggle all of these things? Like, I used to own a moonwalk company, right? And I used to own it back when I didn't have time management. You'd be surprised all the shit that you can do without just even understanding that you don't have control over your time.
It'll bog you down, though.
Yeah.
You'll get to the situation.
But you'll get to the same point, yeah.
Like, and I think the big thing here to go firstly with anything when it comes to the idea of time management, because you talked about a lot of good things. I want to talk about firstly, why does this even happen?
Yeah.
Like, think about the idea of saying no. I think that's where we'll start, and then we'll move into some more practical stuff, because I like to start with the root first.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so somebody calls you, somebody you respect, and they say, do this thing for me.
Yeah.
Now,
sometimes it's like an older cousin too.
Somebody you respect. I always say somebody you respect, because if it's somebody you don't respect, this doesn't even apply. You just tell them no. So somebody that you respect calls you, and they say, hey, will you do whatever for me, right? Yeah. And in the back of your mind, you like, I know I shouldn't really say yes, but you do.
Yeah.
What is that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you what it is. There's a great book. Here we go.
There's a great book. Book drop.
There's two books, and this is one I actually recommended to Omar.
And then I do want you to plug in the way that you found free audiobooks on here too.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about this because a lot of this stuff I'm talking about, you better get. And I actually talk about that at the end of how they can do that. So there's a great book, two great books. One is more centered around just men. And
we'll give some apps too that you can manage your time.
We're going to get to all that.
Exactly.
So one of those is centered more around men, is what you call No More Mr. Nice Guy. But the other one is a more general book that I recommend everybody read, which is called The Disease to Please. Now, this is an amazing book because it talks about that a lot of us grow up with a people-pleasing personality. They said a line here that was so profound to me that it really changed the way I learned how to manage the people around me, right? So a lot of times the reason you don't say no to them is because you respect them, you're trying to be nice. And you've been taught all your life that to get people to like you, keep in mind, people you respect, it's important for you to be nice to them, right? Well, here's the funny thing. It's not actually true. Actually, what they were talking about in one of these books was that people who are nice, they actually come off a little bit more inauthentic. So the thing is, because let's say like this. Let's say right now I say, DJ, can you drive me to my house? And you say, cool. Well, or let me know. Let me say, if I say, DJ, you want me to drive you to your house? Now I go out my way, fuck my schedule up and everything to do it, right? And then later I tell you, damn, DJ, I moved my whole schedule around for you in order to drop you off. How would you feel about that?
So you did that.
I didn't ask you to do that, right?
Asked you to do
because
that.
the thing is, it's not genuine.
Yeah.
Now, how much more you would respect me? If you say, man, can you drive me to town? I say, man, I can't. I have to do this right now.
Yeah.
Now, you may still have to get what you want done.
Yeah.
But at the same
still
time,
respect that.
It wouldn't be any loss between us, because you wouldn't be like, bro, now you made me feel guilty about you doing me a favor that I didn't even really ask you to do. And this disease to please is something that a lot of people have. Now, here's the line that was so powerful in it to me, right? They said, most people, when you hear you need to stop being nice, they think you should go the opposite direction and be an asshole. So everybody who talks to you, fuck that, I'm not doing that. No, I ain't doing that shit, right?
Wow. That's a good way to look at it, too.
Here's the real thingers, right? I want everybody to pay attention to this. It said, the moment you identify with being nice versus being real, that's where you get into trouble. So what does that mean? So if somebody calls you, and you have a business, school, I don't care what you're doing, and somebody says, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. If you tell them you can do it and you have something to do personally, you're not being real.
Exactly.
You're not being real with yourself because now you're about to put yourself in a situation where you're down bad because you feel like, oh, I need to please everybody around me. In this book, they talk about amazing. It's like 10 things they talk about that characterize if you're a person with the disease to please. And that's why I recommend books like this to people, because I know a lot of times we think time management comes down to stuff like, oh man, I need to learn the best organizational programs, and we're going to give you that. In this episode, we'll give you great organizational programs. I can give you strategies. I can recommend books like Getting Things Done that will help you like get through all your work and stuff. I can recommend books to you, but I can promise you it's going to keep getting robbed because you don't know how to manage the time. Now, I want to talk about another concept called time thief callers.
Time thief callers.
Yeah, I got this book. I got this from the book Time Warrior. So in the book Time Warrior,
Another book drop.
In the book Time Warrior, he talked about basically you have all these people call you and they steal your time.
I bet you at this point people are like, God damn it, how many books did this guy read?
A trillion.
Shit.
But in the book though, this is interesting because it said, so let's say for example you're at the house working, right?
Yeah.
Then mama calls.
Not mom.
Hey, what's going on, mom?
Thief.
Can you believe what's going on with your brother?
Thief
He
trap.
this and this, and because it's your mama, what do you do? Yeah, nah,
What you need me to do, mom?
He do be tripping. Yeah. Really? That was crazy. Meanwhile, work in the background.
Just piling
up, right? So, mama calls, 30, 40 minutes, you get off the phone. Right after that, brother calls.
Big bro, not the big bro.
Bro, can you believe what mom tripping on right now? Yeah, she do be tripping. 30 minutes of that, right? Hang it up. I'm about to get this work in now. Yeah. What up, boy? It's your partner call. Hey, what's up, boy? Hey, man, man, it's going down tonight. You seen those girls talking to last night? Yeah, you're not. Nah,
Instagram, look, check out the DM.
I'm about to DM it to you right now.
I'm about to DM it to you right now. This shit cold right here, boy.
Exactly.
Hey, now listen though, what you doing like all of that, right?
Bro, we need to get up, bro.
Now look, bro. I seen these T-shirts.
Bro, why you trying to get the phone? What's up?
You doing something?
What's up?
You bigger than this?
No, it ain't that.
You can't do the daily bullshit combos
now you look up. You started working 9. You look up. It's about 4 o'clock.
It's 4:50.
Shit. You have done nothing. Whatever. And then you're like, where'd the time go?
Yeah, right.
What happened to all my time? And see, these whole things is why I talk about the idea of setting boundaries. Because the biggest thing is the more ruthless you are with your boundaries, the more you're gonna be able to get accomplished.
But you know what's crazy though?
What's that?
You know what's crazy? That's one of the things that corporate America was great for.
Yeah.
Setting out boundaries of their people's time. So you can't use your phone here. You can't do this. You can't do that. But really, what that is they're employing the fact that there's times for everything. To
maximize.
Yeah, you have to maximize your time here. So I need that.
I always tell people,
I'm paying you for your time, so I need that.
I always tell people, if you call me during the week, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
Until after a certain time. That's not because I'm being an asshole. It's because how you think I'm going to build up a company. When do you think I'm going to have the time? If I'm sitting here talking to my mama all day, I'm sitting here talking to my brother, my friend, my homeboy, whatever, all day, when do I have time to build the business?
But some people don't even understand that neither, though, because you say you gave the example building a company. Most people, I remember hearing that, right? And I always hear stuff on both ends of the spectrum simply because I was on that side, now I'm on this side, right? So some people may be like, bro, what building a company, like that sounds so foreign. I can understand how foreign that may sound to a person who doesn't understand it. So even when setting those blocks, I don't even expect certain people to understand it. Like my mom, okay, she was an entrepreneur, but she never built a company, right? Yeah. Although my mom would understand, but I definitely would understand if my mom didn't understand, right? It's like, Mom, I'm building a company. Like that has to sound like some bullshit to a person who never built a company.
That goes into what we're talking about, which boundaries to set.
Exactly.
Because the whole thing is, the reason I wanted to start with that is because that's just the overall, for you to understand where I'm going with this, where the real problem with time management usually comes down to how you choose to use your time.
Yeah.
It's things to make you more efficient, yes, of course. But I think what you're just talking about getting to there is like people are, well, this doesn't apply to me because I'm not building a business. This applies to everybody. When people have bad grades and stuff like that, it's because you probably didn't spend time studying something. Now, you know how I feel about school, but since he asked about balancing school, I'm just gonna say it, right? My whole point is this: the balance always comes down to boundaries. So I guess the first thing I want to talk about is what type of boundaries you should set, right? So I think I forgot what episode we talked about this, but I always recommend having a set of personal goals and boundaries that you have written down that are like your core values, kind of like a company, right?
Yeah.
Your core values, what you stand for. I have about 6 core values that I've written on my wall. I look at them every day, every morning, and I know that no matter what goes on in my life, I won't compromise on these values.
Exactly. These are just
important.
standard. This is what's going on.
So
it's like one of them things where we always talk to each other like, man, this is just what's happening, bro.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's like, for example, I'm going to make time to read all the time.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on in my life. I don't care who's around. I don't care what it is. I'm going to make time to read, right? Because that's one of my core values, which is always seek new ideas and knowledge. That's a core value I set for myself. And we've talked about this before. If that's not your thing, that doesn't have to be your core value. It's just mine. Yeah. So I'm going to make time for it. So now, from my core values in life, and I recommend 4 things that you really stand for.
And this, I'm learning, and a lot of times when you speak, and I'm here learning with a lot of people too.
Yeah.
So I instilled a lot of these things in myself at an early age, and I didn't understand what they were. Yeah. And like right now, I just got some confirmation. Like earlier today, I told you like next week I won't be going to any clubs. I won't be doing anything. I'm going to Apple and Banana. I do this at four times a year, and like these are things that I always. It's one of my core. It's one of my core values to keep that maintained. No matter what anybody says, I'm going to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not about what my little baby said.
I hate y'all. I don't like y'all. It's like you're not telling somebody, oh, I'm not going to be doing this because you like, oh yeah, I just want to be an asshole right now. Yeah,
because they told me I should stop being so nice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
now all of our time management.
I was going to do this whether I knew you or not. Whether I knew you or not. This is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So having that, if you don't have that, it's almost like if you don't stand. How do you know what you stand for if you have no basis, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have no foundation, I ask most people, I say, okay, what do you really value in life? What are your true core values in life? And how many people can tell you?
Yeah.
How many people can be like, this is what I value, this is what I'm really strong on? Not many people. Yeah. They can tell you some vaguely what they like to do. They might be like, well, I like to do this. I'm saying, I know that no matter what. I called you excited the other day because I found a way to get free audiobooks. Yeah. I want you to really think about that. We need to get
that to Mike too.
Definitely.
Mike definitely.
Oh man, it's so easy, it's crazy, right? But I was excited, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited that I can get audiobooks because it's something I value.
Yeah.
You may not value it, that's fine, but my whole point is I value it. So the starting point is there. So we need to understand from those core values, that's what the basis of setting all these other boundaries are. So let's talk about the first type of boundaries you should set. First type of boundaries you should set are relationship boundaries. Everybody in your life takes up a certain position in your world, right? So let's just say for the sake of argument, you got friends, you got associates, and you got people that are just kind of on the fringes, right? The people on the fringes, you really don't care, you won't let them take up any of your time, right? The people that are associates, these may be business partners or something like that. Some of those kind of intermingle because sometimes you have business partners that are really close to you, so y'all do stuff like how we are. Like we do business together, but we do other stuff, like we go to therapy and stuff like that. But then you have the close friends, and that's why I say mesh together. These are people who may not do any business with you, but you really respect them, you're really close to them. So they might not do any business with you, but if they called you, they could get some of your time. So the whole point is, I believe that most people have a fear of doing what I'm about to say next. Establishing clear boundaries. One of the things I respect that you did today.
That's a big one.
Because the disease to please.
It's the disease to please, but that fear of actually setting a boundary, because what you don't want is somebody to say these words to you. Oh, so you Hollywood now.
Yeah. Or you don't feel like they don't like you.
Oh, so you don't have enough time for me no more.
Exactly. Oh, you done got too big.
But what you'll realize is that people will just flat out understand it. Most people just understand it.
Yeah.
When you give them a time boundary, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, I can't. I'm at work.
I mean, I
I stopped telling people that I run my own business, and I just tell them I'm at work.
Yeah, because it's easier.
It's easier, right?
It doesn't. You don't need to explain it. And I say this too about boundaries, or whatever. I want to ask anybody watching this. Like, we respect people with boundaries. Like, you think of a friend, right? Do you respect a friend? Like, do you be like bragging, like, man, my friend, he a pushover.
Yeah.
And whoever want to say do it, he does it, right? He a straight pushover. Or do you brag about the friend who like, oh no, he ain't go for that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
I know him.
I already know if you called him right now. You bragging.
Yeah.
In fact, they have strong boundaries.
I just made some money.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
We all respect strong boundaries. We all respect strong boundaries. So that fear of loss, that's what we have to get over, right? Nobody's gonna. If a person gets mad at you and doesn't want to be your friend anymore, don't want to talk to you anymore because you set boundaries, that's the person you shouldn't have had in your life anyway. Exactly. I'm just gonna tell you straight up.
I understand it.
You just shouldn't have them around.
A person without any boundaries, and I didn't have any boundaries, right? My thing is, a person without any boundaries just doesn't understand it. They don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
because I'm saying it's the whole friend complex. So the first point is when you talk to these people, I sit down and talk to people when certain things are gonna happen in my life. And one boundary I established when I had my core values with everybody was like, while I'm doing business, will not be picking up your phone call. I won't.
You made an oath the other day, right?
I told my mother.
Yeah.
I told my brother.
Yeah.
My brothers, my sister. I told everybody who is important that's at that first tier, right?
Your top 5 on MySpace?
My top 5, what it used to be, mobile to mobile. My 5 favorites, mobile to mobile. I told them. You remember that?
Yes.
Before.
Remember T9?
I remember all that. Predictive text?
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Remember T9?
You remember the first color phone with you had Snake on it?
Remember the first? Yeah. Remember the BlackBerry was the iPhone at first before the iPhone.
Yeah,
that was the business phone, and they had that one Blockbuster game on it.
Yeah.
the
Blockbuster
Blockbuster game, and then R. Kelly had came out with the. He ain't come out with it, but he was the first person to put the flip phone on the map and trap in the closet.
You remember the Razors?
Yeah, I remember the Razors. He had the Razor on first. Let's not get too far.
Yeah, because
You threw me off.
I didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Oh, we was talking about boundaries, right?
Yes,
See, that was a boundary we did not.
Yeah, right.
He didn't say the boundary. Don't look up at me like that, right?
Right.
Over there playing Pokemon Go.
Playing Pokemon.
That's a bad boundary.
That's a
You
bad
set a boundary on Pokemon Go on your phone.
You did, man. Oh shit. Let's get this man. Let's give him a pillow.
Yeah. There you go, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's all I love. Give me the big,
Oh man.
Give me the big tip.
So yeah, family boundaries. So I talked to those people and I told them, this is what I value. Anybody I'm ever in a relationship with, I don't have problems with that because I'm gonna tell them off top. I'm like, hey, this is the type of schedule you can expect from me.
Oh yeah.
This is what it is. I'm not. If you hit me during the day, it's gonna feel like I'm very dry with you.
Yeah.
Because I told you, right? If I answer it all.
Yeah.
If I answer it all. Now, associates is a little bit different. I have this technique that I do. It's called the Pomodoro technique. You're familiar with this because
we've done
in the
it
7
before.
months you was there for the Pomodoro.
That's how we got through it.
Yeah, because it's
think about if we didn't have time management.
Bro, it's no way we could have done all that shit.
No way, bro. I don't think nobody said. The only thing I actually hate.
I think we clocked.
The only thing I actually hate about online marketing. The only thing I actually hate about online marketing.
I know what you about to say.
Is nobody can see it, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can see a person like a football player, like LeBron James, right?
Yeah.
You can see his success. Like you can see
He's
it.
on ESPN.
It's fucking on TV, bro.
His
TV
contract
on.
is public news.
It's public news,
he just
man.
signed $90 million.
Exactly. Come on, man. You don't see when a Facebook ad is going bonkers in the back. Like you just can't. There's no
Then
television.
you start getting crazy questions.
Right? Oh, okay, yes. That's the only thing I hate about it. But yeah, man, go ahead, bro. Because that's just some shit. That's what really grinds my gear. T lost. Damn, T.
Yeah, never mind. T, you
Damn,
missed the moment back there.
Yeah. Online marketing. That's what I'm talking about, T.
Yeah. We are online marketers.
And all I'm saying is, I'm gonna tell him what T thinks.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna fucking tell him. So
You set yourself up for it.
no, I didn't. So T texts us. No, fuck the whole story.
Yeah. We telling this story.
Alex back there playing.
I look back. Alice ain't even at the chair.
Alice on my
Alice
face.
ain't even at the chair.
Alice on my face. On the chair broke. The chair I did break the chair. I was on Skype. Alright, so.
You know it broke. He was trying to fix it before you noticed.
Yeah, right.
He was back there. He was like, oh shit.
So look, hold on. Let me get back to this so we can stay on track. But T, y'all, everybody's watching the podcast now. I want y'all to understand. I wish we can get T on camera right now, but we not. Oh, maybe we can.
They was ready to do it.
Maybe we can. T text me and Prinston and Jazz.
She was reading the copywriting books or something because the suspense she built was.
Yeah, she. We got now. Keep in mind we did give them some books to write. I mean read on, but T texts us in point blank period asks us, do we sell drugs? She said, y'all have to sell drugs. She said, no judgment. She said, no judgment. I was like, well, we don't even drive. She was like, She's like, we don't even drive nice cars. She say, even more of a reason.
Then Jamie hops in. Maybe that's just a come. I say, oh my God.
We run Facebook ads, bro.
Bro, we have a whole ad agency.
That's all we do.
We literally talk about it on the podcast in front of y'all every day.
Say like maybe the podcast is
what you think,
to hide the fact.
See,
that
everything you say now is gonna become more suspect now,
right?
Like,
everybody else, they really, they made money.
They staying lives out here.
Oh man, if anybody listening and you can't understand it, I don't
but
talk
that's
about.
That's a good point to what I'm saying. It's just it's not your fault, T.
Yeah.
Nobody understands what the hell we do, so it's like when I tell somebody, they just look at me like, "Hey, I got an ad agency."
Oh.
Okay then.
And I got a cousin in the NBA. What? What's up, bro? Hey, I need to come to your house and link up with you. I'm not in the NBA.
What the fuck are you doing?
So yeah.
Yeah, man. But see, we be getting too far.
We went far.
We all the way over there. Come back.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Sorry, Omar.
Come back.
Boundaries.
Come back. Omar, you gotta bear with us. Yeah. I'm a natural ass.
No,
I just be saying whatever.
That's just keep it what
sometimes when we be on this podcast and I be learning so much, I just be having to veer off and it never.
Because it just sparks that in your mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first thing is sitting down talking to those people about those boundaries, right?
Yeah.
It's you got friends and families. You don't want to set boundaries. I promise you'll never be able to manage your time. Mm-hmm. That's just the harsh reality. You probably already thought about that. Mm-hmm. And as you think about that, what you'll start to realize is that the only reason that you ever can't manage time is because you don't want to set clear boundaries. Mm-hmm. So we talked about those layers, the top layers, the friends layers, the associates. I was going into the fact that it's a little bit different because with associates, you might have to actually work with them. So what I do is what I call the Pomodoro technique. You can look this up. It's like P-O, something like that, P-O-M-O. I'm not going to do it to myself. Mm-hmm. But
don't do it.
Pomodoro technique, look that up. It's basically a technique where you do 25 minutes, 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5-minute breaks, 25 minute, 5-minute breaks. This is so effective that it would shock you how focused you get. Because in the 25 minutes, there's nothing. There's no phones, there's no electronics, there's no anything, right? You get into this flow state after you get into about 4 or 5 of them in a row. Now, what I do is in the long breaks, because after a certain amount, I'm usually 4, you take a long break.
30. That's
when I actually call people back from business.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I had this business contact I had to talk to. I call them within that 30 minutes, and then I'm right back on. The thing about this is, I'm ruthless with my time in this way. That's why I'm able to finish so much more work than other people. Like, I'm doing the work of like 5 or 10 people, and people like, oh, how you doing it?
How you working like he got a fucking twin though?
Like he got a fucking twin though. Like Aubrey said.
right.
And the thing is, it's because I've set those clear boundaries, but what I'm getting at with that technique is the associates, I have time slots mapped out to talk to people. Mm-hmm. So if you call me and I don't pick up, I'm going to call you back. Mm-hmm. I set this boundary not only with friends, but also with business people I work with. Mm-hmm. Clients.
Yeah.
I tell clients my communication, how I'm going to communicate with them. So they don't know. If they call me and they don't get an answer, they know what's going on.
Exactly.
And a lot of people will be scared to do that because they think they're going to miss the money. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I understand when you're very clear with people up front,
they have no choice.
They go with it.
They go with it.
Because it's not like you're trying to when you try to get stuff over and hide stuff, that's when it becomes an issue. Mm-hmm. Because this is the thing. Most people are more concerned about other people's opinions and other people's needs over their own. That's what they talk about in that book, No More Mr. Nice Guy. They say that a lot of nice people, nice guys, nice people really, right, disease to please. The problem is they think that they should put other people's needs over their own. Yeah. And one of the interesting things they talked about in the book was there was a guy he had a relationship, and his wife told him, he's like, shit, I wish you would actually try to do something for yourself sometimes. It's like, you follow me around the house, always like, hey, what are you doing? What do you want to do today and stuff like this? Shit, I wish you would go hang out with your friends sometimes so I could just get some time to myself. Mm-hmm. It's like this idea that we have to always please other people is the thing that stops so many people from being successful in managing time. You only get 24 hours. So think about it. Every time you take a phone call, every time that you spend time gossiping, every time that you do these things, it's not about, oh, I'm above it or anything like that. I just know that those things don't result in what I want in the future. You remember we were talking about
80%.
80%. Ooh, we still gonna talk about that.
Yeah, no,
towards the end. 80%.
Oh, yeah.
Just remember that.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Remember that. Yeah. But that boundary, and like I say, the low level boundaries, that just comes down to I believe if you're doing business, what we do is we've gotten to the point where we start just sending them places. So if somebody calls me, like somebody hits me up after today and asks me about time management, I'm gonna send a link to this.
Yeah, because how much time will we waste, Rodney, talking to 12 people about time management again?
This whole conversation 12 times in a row.
You can't. Right? I'm just gonna send you a link, big bro.
Say, like
the law
me,
of the link.
Say, like, man, how you get out of like social conditioning? Link to this YouTube video.
Link over here, Jad.
Man, what do y'all think about that law of attraction stuff? Link to this video.
Link, come on, man.
Man, what do you think the most important link? Link in bio. Link in bio.
Link in bio. Hey,
Jesus.
Alex, I hear you back there.
Hey, link in bio shirt's coming.
Alex got that link tree going too.
Man, I told Alex about Linktree.
It was up
in
that
10
next 30
seconds.
minutes.
He came through with the Linktree quick. But we'll talk about that later on too.
Yeah.
That'll be something that's in social palooza and social media.
So that's the type of boundaries we should set when it comes to families and relationships. And the key is sitting down talking with these people. Do not be scared and do not try to be nice. Be real. Don't be nice. Be real. That's what's being honest with yourself. So that's the boundaries first, right? And I gave you a good technique in there, the Pomodoro thing. That's really powerful because you could actually work like an 8-hour day and you get so much work done that you would be surprised at how much you just are sitting around. The next thing is what type of boundaries you want to set when it comes to business. Now, this is a little bit different because what this comes down to is the idea that when you start a business, right, there's certain things you will and won't accept when it comes to how you're going to spend your time with your business, right? Yeah. So with you, there's a certain amount of time that you have to spend doing one thing in your business. Actually, it's a certain amount of time that you should spend if you're starting off a new business, 80% of your time doing it. Do you want to tell them what that is?
It's fucking selling.
Yeah.
You should be fucking selling. Most people out here wearing
now my logo, I got to get my.
What the fuck your little logo, Jack?
Fuck
that too. Fuck all of that.
My website.
And I think Rodney just asked a good question. I think he said why. Oh, you might have said wow. He said I'll just act like you said why.
My website though. Well, my website.
Fuck your little website. Okay.
My business. Oh,
fuck all of
that. My business cards.
Fuck all of that.
Oh,
fuck your business cards too. Let me tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me why, please.
Let me tell you why.
You gonna want to hear this.
You have to hear this. 80% of your time should be spent selling this shit that you're talking about. Why should you say fuck your website and fuck your logo and fuck all of this? But I have a logo. I want to do a clothing brand. I should go get my thing. What is it called that the clothing brands have to do? Get it the logo. They have to get it trademarked, which is fine.
Yeah,
fair enough. Fuck you, the trademark too.
Yeah.
But let me tell you why. Because what if you do all of this shit?
Ooh.
Oh shit. What if you do, Rodney? What if you do all of this shit?
How many hours? Keep time.
What if you spend 15 million hours? Let's give a realistic hour frame. What if you spend
200 hours?
200. Let's do 1,000 hours.
1,000 hours.
1,000 hours building your website, waiting for it to get built.
Getting your logo
perfect. The credentials, the time. Not the time, the width and all the height shit.
The pixels perfect.
The pixels perfect. And that way, when you blow it up, it's cute.
Oh, you go get you a nice presentation.
You go get your presentation
beautiful
package.
Cards done.
Everything properly stacked properly.
Ooh,
like you spent some time doing this shit. You're not just finna press a button and that shit be done for you.
When researched and you got your elevator pitch ready.
Yeah.
I ask you.
Everything, right? What if you do all this and nobody buys your shit? You haven't even started selling it. You don't even know if people want it, right? So one of the reasons why me and Prinston were so successful in creating an ad agency, because honestly, before that bitch was even created, we were selling it.
We sold it.
Before.
Why do you think we were so confident about it? Because we was like, $10,000.
Yeah.
48 hours. I'm like, fuck all this. I didn't have the packet. I didn't have a website up for it.
Nothing.
No business card. DJ hit me up the other day, said business card. I'm like, man, we'll get to that in a second.
When we get to them, man. But my deal with it all is, like, figure out what people want from you first. From us going sell our services with the ad agency first, we figured out what people really wanted. Yeah. So we changed the business model. You don't even know what your people want yet. Right? While you trying to make your packet pretty, you're going to do all of that just to go change it when people don't want what you think they want.
I give you a great example from the book, Ready, Fire, Aim, which talks about this going from 0 to $1 million. One thing they talked about, this goes into time management. This is some heavy duty shit I'm about to talk about.
Heavy duty shit.
So basically, from 0 to $1 million, the business is different from $1 million to 100 million, right? So us, we're sitting in the 0 to $1 million range.
Exactly.
So they talk about the challenges with businesses that are starting off.
Exactly.
The biggest challenge with new entrepreneurs is you're spending too much time making your fucking presentation packet, and nobody gives a fuck
about none of it.
Can you sell it? When I come into a business, before I had a presentation packet, I walked in there and said, I can get you customers. And guess what they said? How? Then when I showed them how, guess what? Client. Done.
Point blank.
They didn't
Three-step process.
Whoa.
Do you have a logo?
Do you have a website?
Do you have a logo?
Because if you don't have a website,
what about your presentation package? Do you have that?
You don't have that? I noticed you walked in here without a business card.
I need customers, but I'm not going to work with you.
If you would have had business cards,
I think we could have
done something. But I don't ever do business. It's impossible for me to do business with somebody without a business card
or logo or website.
It's just
oh my god.
Are you doing
people
business?
Care. Like I told you, you get paid for the problem that you solve.
Exactly. So
that's what it is.
So when I talk about this, the reason I wanted to go into this, and this probably goes a little, you think this might go a little bit out the depth of time management, but it does not. Because you asked me, Omar, how do I balance school and business, right? The reason that you can't balance school and business is because the business is probably getting hard because what? Your folks, you hit me up, you might say, man, I'm working on my ad agency today. And I'm saying, what are you working on? Are you working on selling somebody?
Yeah,
are you
right.
out there selling somebody? Are you getting in front of somebody? I get routinely called by DJ every day. Hey, this person's trying to do this. This person's trying to do this. This person's trying to do this. I talk to somebody. Hey, my friend's doing this. I'm going in there to sell them.
Yeah, I'm not playing with these people, man.
That's
I'm not even coming to do that.
And we had a whole episode before talking about empathy. So it's not just about selling them, but the point I'm saying is how you spend your time. You're trying to grow a business, and it's getting overwhelming. If you knew how to sell, your business is going to start growing. Here's the key. After you get to the million mark, and I know this because I got a good friend that talked about this on a video I did on my channel. His business is hitting 2 million, so he's past that mark, right? Mm-hmm. And he said that what happens is the variety of customers gets so large, now they expect something different. Mm-hmm. So when you're a new customer, when you're first starting off, customers just want to know, can you perform what you're saying you're going to perform?
Yeah.
But now when you get
bigger, if you think about it, think about the stuff that you pay for while you talk about this, P.
Yeah.
Think about this, y'all, as he talks about this, because I heard you talk about this earlier this week. And it was a situation that stuck in my brain about the way you explained this, about how people react to new products, and as you get greater.
You talking about the product adoption curve?
Exactly.
Yeah. So product adoption curve very quickly is this, right? So every product goes through the same cycle. Every idea goes through the same cycle too. So in the early stages, you have the innovators. So innovators, they don't really give a shit about the features, the benefits. They don't care about anything. These are the people who paid $80,000 to get an HD TV. These are the people who stand in line to be the first, not the new iPhones, the first iPhone before everybody knew what they were. Mm-hmm. They would stand out, they would camp out just to be the first to have it.
Yeah, it's always those people. Jordans too.
Exactly. Well,
no, they're established.
That's in the late majority. We'll talk about that, what this is in a second, right? Yeah. So then you have what they call the early adopters. Now, each stage usually helps to push to the next stage. Early adopters, they're not like the innovators. They don't care about being first, but they need a little bit of features. They need a little bit of quality for them to get on board with your product. Mm-hmm. So this is where your business moves to the next phase, right? So now you've been selling to the innovators. Now you get to early adopters. You find out that, well, now people really want this feature. Now, instead of knowing that, you could have done all those 1,000 hours. Now that somebody tells you directly, hey, if you had this, I would buy it. Now what do you go back and do?
Just do that.
Add it to the product now.
All right.
Now you're continuously to sell. But soon you move, and it's a great book called Crossing the Chasm, which is, this part is the hardest to get to from the early adopters to the early majority. The early majority is when you start getting mainstream.
Yeah. Mainstream
basically means that now you're going to be dealing with a lot of different customers that expect a lot. This is why you see larger companies, like something like what we're doing right now. We're a smaller company right now. Mm-hmm. We can talk a lot of shit. We can do a lot of that type of shit. And that's why I like being able to make a ton of money, because it's not based on money. It's based on how much your product is adopted.
Exactly.
We can talk a lot of shit because we're not dealing with stuff where we have to be super politically correct. Mm-hmm. So Coca-Cola, you ain't gonna see the CEO of Coca-Cola probably talking on a podcast like this, right? Mm-hmm. The whole point is they're in the early majority, and that audience expects something different. That doesn't mean that we won't get to our own version of that. Mm-hmm. So when we get very big, people are going to expect the ad agency to have a certain level of customer service, a certain level of sophistication as far as the team that comes in, stuff like that. But in the early stages, they're just like, can you do this shit?
Yeah, that's how we really want to know.
After that, you move to what's called the late majority, and this is when you're super mainstream. This is like when it's not even a new thing. You're not even a new thing anymore. It's kind of like, oh yeah.
Yeah, like, they don't even count.
Yeah. Like Cinderella's, yeah, I know about them. Like everybody knows about it. You're in the late stage. In the last stage, what they call the laggards. Laggards, there's a joke somebody made. They just got one of those rotary phones.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're using a wireless phone because they don't sell the rotary phone anymore.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the last to adopt. You don't worry about them.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be 25 years before they ever think about doing anything. Right.
Exactly.
So with this being said, the point we're making here is that how you spend your time depends largely on what you think is important. And what you think is important at 0 to a million is usually not. Mm-hmm. Same thing when it comes to time management. You think that it's important I need to do this conversation with this person and talk to this person 30 minutes and 40 minutes and stuff like this, but you're not doing activities that are moving you forward. 80% of your time
should be
spent on revenue generating activities.
That's all. Or
if you just want to break it down to simple time management, right? 80% of your time should be spent actualizing the vision you have for your life, the core of what you have for your life. So many people are spending time right now saying, "Oh, I'm going to spend all my time, all this busy work, right? 20% of stuff that does not matter." But the thing is, what I realized by making this small shift, you'll see the dramatic movement forward. So first, setting those boundaries with those friends. Second, setting those boundaries in what you're going to do in business. And I guess to bring it home, because I know we're running a little bit. Well,
we definitely towards the end.
I don't want to run over again today, but let's give some practical tools that you can use to manage your time. I hope. That
let's definitely get into that before the final thoughts.
And I'll say this before we get into that. You just want to do that for the final thoughts?
Yeah. I guess we could do that for the final thoughts.
And before I get into that, I'll just say this with the time management thing. I hope that answers your question, Omar. And the big thing I want you to remember is that one of the biggest things that stops people from being successful is getting over the fear of criticism. I promise you, if you don't get over the fear of criticism, you'll never be successful. I realized one day I woke up and I said, you know what, some people are not going to like some of the actions I take. But I always realized, too, that those people are not going to be people who are really going into battle with me. Right? But you sitting on this couch with me, somebody who I know when it comes down to it, when it seriously comes down to it, when I need to get to the next level, that's somebody. You're somebody who's going to help me get there, right? Those are the only people's opinions I'm going to listen to. Nobody's going to tell me how I should live my life. I don't let anybody define it. My mother can't define it. My brother can't define it. My friends can't define it. But I know that might get me criticized sometimes because some of the actions I take, people might be like, "Why the fuck would you do that?" Because I understand what my vision for my life is. You should have a vision for your life too. Anybody watching it, you should have a vision for your life. This is where I'm going. And don't let anybody else define it. It's crazy how many people let somebody else define what their life should be. And I think that's the big thing I just want to say before we move to the final thoughts and give some practical tools.
Yeah, man. So, well, my final thoughts, and then I'll give a couple of my practical tools that I use for people who own a business similar to 80%. Own a business similar to some of the side businesses that we own off to the side other than the ad agency. But I guess some of my final thoughts from the Penthouse today, really, man, of course, I hope that everybody after listening to this episode, you understand the importance of time management, because like I told you at the beginning of the story that I told earlier today with Reggie, I was an individual who didn't understand what time management was. I heard it before. I've understood that most people used it. I've understood that a lot of people talk about it, but I didn't. It wasn't until I met you and until I had to sit down with a person and them tell me how to manage my time. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody here heard of time management before, but it's not until the end of this episode where you'll get some practical tools that you could definitely use to manage your time. So one of the tools that I use to manage my time, you don't even have to sell anything to utilize this tool. This may be a very complicated tool for what you're trying to do if you're just trying to manage your time. Now, I know you can go on Google and type in time management apps, and it is just a research or a Google search away for you to find some time management apps. But there's a tool that I use that allows me to work so profoundly on stuff like this, and allows me to work on websites and come over and pretty much work on the whole ad agency. Allows me to do everything that I want to do, and still orchestrate something over on the side. So I think instead of a regular life, I think that's the reason. One of the reasons why, if you watch my story and you're listening to this podcast, it may seem like I play all day, but I honestly just manage my time ruthlessly because I understand if I manage my time, I can play all day.
Yeah.
And I want to play all day.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to work. I want to work 1 hour out of the day. Now, of course, until I get to that level, I work extremely large amounts of hours because as of right
we
now,
should talk about one episode.
Yeah.
Outsourcing.
Yeah, of course, we definitely do that. But my thing with managing time, and I'm about to get into these apps that I use, is just once you understand how to manage your time, you actually realize you'll have more of it. Make sense? So I guess what I want to go ahead and give them is a bunch of sense, right? If you want more time, just manage the time that you have. You'll fucking be crazy.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy. So one of the tools that I use, if you own any type of service that people can book you for. So say for instance you're a makeup artist. Say for instance you're a tattoo artist. Say for instance you're a person who cuts hair. Say for instance you're a person who does photography. Say for instance you're a person who does anything. You want a person to book you for your time. You can use the app Style Seat. Now the first month is absolutely free. After that they charge you. But one of the things that I wasn't big on was paying for stuff at first. But once I understood the fact that you just pay for what you get, you invest into yourself. It makes no sense not for me not to use the platform. It allows me to
If you invest in yourself, you always be broke.
Yeah, it allows me to section. It allows me to section off about 4 hours of my day every day. So if I ever don't want to go into the, I got a side office too. Downtown. So if I ever don't want to go to that office,
you got the one over there.
Yeah.
And the other one.
So all it pretty much is just sectioning off my time, right?
Yeah.
So I use this app, Style Seat, once again. For 4 hours out of the day, I'll just go into the shop and cut hair.
Yeah.
And it's on autopilot. I do email marketing, so that's just I like to call that bills, right? So I just go in there and do that. And since I manage my time so properly on that app, it allowed me to pretty much just do whatever I want outside of the other 20 hours out of the fucking day, right?
Yeah.
So another thing that me and you use is Calendly.
Which is similar to Style Seat if you're not specifically in this. Makeup, Style Seat for makeup too, right?
Style Seat can be for anything.
I know it can be for anything, but I'm saying its primary purpose is like...
Yeah, like hair and stuff like that. Yeah.
So Calendly is more geared towards, like maybe you're a consultant or a coach or something.
Yeah.
Well, any service-based industry.
Yeah.
I mean, if you was a maid, I guess you could, anything, you're service-based. Yeah, so go ahead.
Nah, Calendly is a good thing too. It's just like Style Seat, but I like P just explained, it's for pretty much a person can just book your time.
Yeah.
And then you can...
Well, the key is you set the time that you're available.
Yeah.
And then people can just slot themselves in. So now you have control over when you're going to be working and not working.
Exactly.
Right?
So I have ad agency hours. So where I talk about my social growth and I help people build their Instagrams and I grow people's social media. And shout out to everybody in the room today that's on staff at Mama's House at Penthouse because I did make an announcement earlier today that I'll be personally growing everybody's social media here for absolutely free. So that's just something. Woo! That's just another thing that we all get to have in here. And I thought he failed. I was just like, shit. I don't know how you fall sitting down. Some weird people in this world, bro. I have no idea how that would have happened. But Calendly is another app that you can use. Say for instance, you consult with businesses. I'm actually gonna tell Cece about this one, right?
Yeah.
You consult with businesses that they want to book your time to build your brand where you need hours of operation. So you don't want to be available 24 hours because now the prestige of your whole brand is like, shit, I can get them when I want.
You don't want to be that person who's just like, hey, let me call you. I think around 2 o'clock.
Nah. Send them a link, let them book, and now you know what time you need to be there. This is time management 1-on-1, and this is how I'm able to play all fucking day.
Yeah.
Because I want to play. I want to act ass. There's no secret.
You're in control.
I want to be in control of what I do. I want to act a donkey, okay? Yeah. I want to play, man. So, P, your final thoughts from the Penthouse?
My final thoughts, I guess I get some practical tools. I get my final thoughts, but Asana. Say that right off top.
Shit.
Asana is great for task management. Also, another good one is Band. We use Band all the time.
Oh yeah, we
for
definitely use Band.
If you got teams and stuff like that, just to get everybody on the same page, because I think a big thing is blocking out your time. When people know when you're available to do stuff, just take that time serious. I also say, like with your work blocks, using stuff like the Pomodoro technique, look that up. When you block out time, use the time just like any other appointment. If I say I got 4 hours that I'm gonna work, just me working on the business, them 4 hours need to be
strictly
taken
that.
just as seriously as if I'm going to meet $1 million client, because that back end work is what's going to allow me to actualize those projects.
Exactly.
So those are 3 tools. There's so much we could talk about. I wish we could talk a little bit more, because there's so much stuff I can talk about with time management. Once again, we try to keep these at a reasonable length so you can listen.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple more things. I do want to talk about the other thing I promised them. To get the free audiobooks. So you might hear me.
Oh man, I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you.
Full disclaimer:
get that.
we're not sponsored by these people or anything like this. We
free
don't get any
value,
money
man.
from this. But if you got a public library card, you can get this for free. I think every state has a free public card that you can get, right?
Yeah.
You go to the public library, sign up for a card. Then you can go to this website called Hoopla Digital. I put it at the bottom. Or the editor, please put that in there. Hoopla Digital. What it'll do is you put your library card in, and you can rent, you can borrow 2 free audiobooks a year. A month, not a year, a month. So basically, it's got some of the greatest titles. Like a lot of the titles we talked about, like Think and Grow Rich, and a lot of these books, and some of the stuff I mentioned, like that stuff is on there for free.
Oh, you know what book we need to read? My stepdad recommended Don't Move My Cheese. So I'm gonna definitely give me a
Who Ate the Cheese or something?
Don't Move My Cheese, or Who Ate the Cheese, something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's on there.
Okay.
I probably can look it up right now. It's on there. The thing is, free audiobooks, because I always look at it like this: it's free, and it's no excuse. I'm telling you, it's millions of dollars in books. When people talk about how did you make a bunch of money so quickly, stuff like that, and how we growing the ad agency so quickly, because I read my ass off, right? I know I'm able to command a lot of leadership because I'm able to read. You can do the same shit, 2 books a month. Most people don't read that many. I'm an addict. Legit.
You're a fiend.
I actually have those 2 books I got right now. I'm listening to. I was listening to one in the car on the way here, and I have another one. I got the Audible subscription where I get books a month, and I read a book, multiple books a month.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, I love it. And how you think I have time to do all this? Time management. So that's a free tool. I encourage you to check that out. I mean, if you just don't want free knowledge, I mean, it doesn't have to be business books. I mean, it could be.
We'll read Cat in the Hat Audible.
I mean, shit, whatever. I'm just telling you, it's there.
Yeah.
Right. Free. It's free. You know what I'm saying?
Right, Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
One fish, blue fish.
Hop on pop.
One fish, two fish, red fish,
I do not like
blue
them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I will not eat them on a boat. I will not eat them in a moat.
Yeah.
I will not eat them in a car.
Yeah.
I will not eat them going far.
Yeah.
I will not eat them in a train. I will not eat them in a plane.
Yeah.
I will not eat green eggs. And then at the end, he finally tries them. And that's about getting out your ego.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end, it's like, but that story, see, Dr. Seuss was really dropping some knowledge for you because he was getting you out your ego.
Yeah.
He was saying, get out your ego.
Get out your little feelings,
Try new
bro.
things, man.
Try your little
time management. I just told you, Hoopla Digital.
Hoopla Digital,
Try new
man.
things. Don't
be the guy who just listens to this like.
Then when you go to Hoopla Digital, you like, damn, it was good.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Duh.
Green eggs and ham.
Green eggs and ham.
You didn't think I was gonna be able to bring that back, did you?
Yeah, nah.
Damn. That's you just created a new sound effect for the show.
Damn.
I'm about to start putting what? Hey,
let me
put
get
that
the
in.
wait. We gonna take this from here, then we gonna put it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Cool. We got that. Damn. Real cool. We can use that one.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna give my social media.
One more thing, right?
Go ahead, man. Give
One
it
more
to
thing.
him.
So,
Give
with
it
that
oh,
being
you got
said-
another app.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last app that I almost forgot this app because you messed me up. Rise.
Damn.
Rise.
I'm using that
Rise is
now.
basically an app if you want to network with people. It helps you keep in contact with people. So what it basically does, it allows you to set intervals when you're going to follow up with people. So with clients, I set them in certain intervals, so I follow up with them every 3 days. This keeps the relationship really good with them. And what that allows me to do is build a relationship to them. And when you build relationships with people, even some people who we didn't get at first, we might follow up with them 2 or 3 weeks later. Bam, we get them in. And that can literally result in hundreds of thousands of dollars in your pocket. Because remember, 80% of your time should be spent doing what?
Selling.
Spent doing what?
Selling.
Spent doing what?
A bunch of selling.
Damn! See, that's what they think.
That's
so stop it, Alex. So stop it, Alex.
You went
Yeah,
way
you jumped the gun now. And I know you can hear me back there because you're on the audio.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, use that stuff, manage your time effectively. Just say no. You can say no.
You can.
If they don't fuck with you,
they wouldn't fuck with you.
that's all,
anyway.
folks. Get them out of there. Say no to everything you don't want. If you want to take some drugs, that's on you.
Yeah.
I'm not even one of those people, right? I don't give a shit what you want to do. It's your life.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is, I'm telling you stuff to make you successful. I wouldn't smoke drugs. I wouldn't do heroin or crack if I want to be successful in business.
Yeah.
But however, that's my life.
Yeah.
You can do whatever the hell you want watching this podcast, right?
Yeah.
I just encourage you to listen to stuff we're telling you so you can build a life where you're in control. But besides that, go ahead and give me your social media so we can get on out of here.
Yeah, man. My Twitter and Instagram.
Give him Rodney's social media, please, because you know what it is with him.
Oh yeah. We are definitely gonna get Rodney's social media as well. My social media is Country Cowboy. You can find me at Country Cowboy on Twitter and Instagram. Nope. And Facebook. We've been there too many times, Jack. I won't do it. I don't even feel like doing it today. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and pretty much all platforms.
Yeah, Twitter is a good way to contact us too if you want questions.
Yeah, Twitter's an excellent way to contact us to get questions. Yeah.
What's your Christian mingle?
Country Cowboy. You gonna go fight? You on Christian mingle? I'm on there. I'm on Farmers Only.
Yeah, how do you know that?
How do you know that? T done found me on Farmers. Oh shit! Alrighty. All right. You found me. T found me on Tinder too, huh?
You said farmers.com?
She said I'm on Farmers.
That's
that
crazy.
boy DeQuan
really
got a Plenty of Fish account.
Plenty of Fish? He got one of them Zeus and an E-Hawk.
President Quan on the school.
Ooh, you about to get rained on.
He about the hot singles. P, go ahead and give us your
social
MySpace.
Media is my MySpace.
MySpace? Really?
MySpace is one of the top music. They one of the top
Tumblr
music platforms right now.
My Foursquare is
Oh wow. Oh,
okay, yeah.
She said my battery's about to die. Let's go ahead and
get
wrap it up. I know the battery about to die, but I feel you. We gonna wrap it up. My social media is B.R.U.I.C.E W.A.I.N.E Prinston Hicks on everything. The best way to contact us is on that Twitter. A couple things I do want to say before we get out of here. If you're having problems struggling with business, get the 10 mandatory building blocks you need to build a business on takingmassiveaction.com right now. It'll be live at this recording. TakingMassiveAction.com. Mama's House to Penthouse question if you want your questions. Mama's House to Penthouse audience if you want to be in the audience. Hey Bodega Bomb if you want a big check pillow or any other Massive Action merch or anything like that. Besides that, I think that's pretty much everything. And we gone.
We gone. Krusty Krab.
Is the pizza for you and me?
I wanted to get Jazz talking about her stalker on camera.
You better not put me on camera. You guys can take me off. What is he fighting?
She was tripping.
You got a whole stalker?
I got a whole stalker.
Oh, shit.
The stalker I got texted me 47 times in the last month. And then the last time she just texted me, she just hit me and said, Can I use your bathroom to do my hair? I was like, what? I haven't texted you in 45 text messages in a row, man.
When are we gonna get more lights, though?
Damn, got you straight.
That's a polite way of saying you dark.
No! Why do you guys always do that? I don't care about his skin color.
Like, I feel like
I was shedding, and nobody knows. Nobody knows. All the work that I was putting, when they tell me that I shouldn't, and nobody knows. That's the rules. Nigga, we made it.
Nah, man, bro, I remember locking in all hours of the night with you back in San Houston, man. The grind was real. And even back then, man, in your Curious Keys days, I always knew you had that gift. There was something special about you. Man, continue to be great and inspired. Dreams really do come true, and only Wayne can make it happen. One love, your boy Easy.